Good afternoon. This is Lindsay. It is I keep having problems with the recording. It's July 6, 2025. It's Sunday, and so I want to talk more about my gang stalking and being targeted and the smear campaign that's never ending, obviously, because like I said, whenever the situation has to do with finances or money or anything like that, and these people, like I have talked over and over about my situation because I have to for my own legal reasons and whatnot, because I swear to God, it's so obvious to me what is going on. Like I see through the lies and the facade quite easily, but for whatever reason, because I think I'm a pretty decent person, I keep on forgiving, or not really forgiving, because I don't really forgive, but I allow these manipulative liars back into my life over and over again, knowing good and well that they're fucking liars and that they're full of shit and that they're only coming back into my life to cause more chaos and confusion and drama. Because that's what they do. These narcissistic people, that's what they're notorious for doing, because once you have exposed them for who they are and what they're doing, like I've been doing, because I'm and also that I'm a targeted individual, then they get angry and they get revenge, but they do the hoovering stuff to come back, acting like like everything's okay and nothing ever happened, and that it's really odd. Their behavior is almost like they're acting too nice, and there's a reason why they're acting. Why would they be coming back hoovering when you discarded them, or they discarded you, and then a reverse discard happens? And then they keep coming back. Why do they do that? The question is, why would they be doing that unless they are either trying to get revenge on a person to try to get even, because that's what they also like to do, because they don't really know how to communicate effectively about the truth, or they feel guilty. Sometimes it's because they come back because they feel guilty. They know they did something wrong, and they feel in their fucking sick way of trying to make amends with somebody when they know that they've lied to a person and done something bad. That's another reason why they do this. But it's not, whenever they come back to do these things, it's normally because it's because they still, I know this quite well. And like I said, whenever you know these kinds of things about these narcissistic people, you either have to accept that's how they are, or you walk away completely walk away and go no contact. The choice is really yours. They're going to keep coming back to Hoover because they know that that's what they do. These people have a pattern of doing that. They doesn't matter. They always feel that everybody who's a part of their life is like an extension of them no matter what. And so they feel that they can just come and go anytime they want. And that's a mentality that they have. They don't get over people. They don't get over their exes, and they hang on to past relationships, trying to get re-involved with people from their past whenever something goes wrong with the new person who they have, their new supply or whatever, their hookup. And it's very odd, because I understand that people, at a certain age do that, like maybe in their 20s and 30s, whenever you are younger and more promiscuous, but there comes a time in a person's life where they should reach a maturity level that you can't keep trying to go back to somebody from your past, an ex, because, usually things end for a reason, I think. I mean, I know that in my personal experience with people I was involved with from my past, long time ago, ex-boyfriends, they ended amicably. Like nothing, there was not a lot of drama. There was no drama and no hoovering ever with any of the people from my past. When I look back at all my serious relationships from years ago, there was never any hoovering. There was never any bad, really no real animosity. It just ended mutually, But there was never any weird stuff like what I'm going through now at my age with this person. And I've never had this, and it's not even a real, what's so odd about it, and the reason I talk about it so much is because these people absorb so much of your energy and time that it's overwhelming, and you're always trying to process why did they do that, or what's going on here? Am I going crazy? Because they gaslight. They're so good at gaslighting you and manipulating you into believing the facade of lies that you really doubt your own reality and perceptions. But don't do that, because that's part of their what they do is they get you so in such a web of chaos and confusion that you're always questioning your own, what you do. You're questioning, why, they do that on purpose to make you think you're going crazy, but that's called gaslighting. They're doing that. Because I've never, like I said, everybody's a little bit weird. We all have our own quirks that make us strange. I know I do, but I don't believe that I don't go around hoovering people or stalking exes or whatever to get revenge. I just talk about it in these, because this is so bizarre. Whatever I'm involved with or whatever has been going on is so fucking weird that the only way I'm able to get any kind of clarity for myself is by talking about it out loud in a video and recording it for my own well-being and putting it out there on YouTube. Why not? I'm a living example of this. And so I feel that it's in my best interest to document it, because it is real. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not exaggerating one bit of what I'm talking about. And I'm sure that there's hidden cameras in this house, probably unbeknownst to, I sense that there is, as well as call me crazy, but some kind of spirit dead, of a man who committed suicide. I can feel that as well. People believe in that, some people don't, but I do. But I also believe that I'm under heavy surveillance. I don't believe it, I know that I am, by the government. So therefore I'm a schizophrenic and crazy because I'm paranoid, because I know that I'm under surveillance. That's another way they're able to justify for their illegal surveillance of targeted people. Okay, so it's another thing. But anyway, so this person, I suspect he's a malignant. He's not a covert narcissist. He's more of an overt malignant narcissist, because these types of people are very outgoing, like they're very fake and pretentious with people, and they treat you differently than they do. For example, if you're in public with these people, they'll treat you completely differently in public, and they'll treat total strangers a lot better than you. You're of no importance to them. You're just like somebody who they utilize for whatever it is that you supply that you give them. That's all it is with these people. Everything's a transaction. It's all it is. And you can sit there and try to think what's going on here, why is this happening, in trying to figure it out and trying to analyze it. But what really, it's all you need to do is realize that with narcissistic people, they don't really form. It's very difficult for them to form a real relationship with somebody, because, like I said, for them it's a transaction. It's about what you can provide for them, their needs, and when they don't get their needs met from you, if it's physical needs or sexual needs or whatever, they're going to find it from someone else, and they're going to lie to you about that for sure, even if you're a primary source of supply. And they don't commit. They will not commit to one person, because they can't do that. They have to play the field and confuse people, lead people on, and hurt people in the process. They hurt a lot of people. They do that on purpose, because they're so fragmented and tortured individuals themselves because of their traumatic past, usually, that they never dealt with, that they have to drag all that stuff from their childhood trauma that they never really dealt with onto their relationships. And if you can't acknowledge that you have problems from your past, from childhood, like maybe abandonment and feeling neglected, not knowing who your real parents are, like with me, and I talk about this. I have a lot of neglect and abandonment issues, but I'm also able to be alone. And people who are in denial about their issues, they go out and try to target people who they think are so vulnerable and weak, and they feel that those people can't be alone. They need to constantly be around somebody. Well, no, that's not true. Some of us actually thrive with our solitude, and we enjoy being by ourselves, doing our own thing. Like me, you have a hobby that you like to do or whatever, and you thrive at doing that, and you enjoy that, and that's something you like to do. They try really hard to interfere with everything, to try to say, well, you shouldn't be alone. You need to be around me or, you shouldn't spend so much time alone. That's because they're selfish. It's not selfish to want to spend time by yourself. Actually, it's a good thing. And in me, I love being by myself, honestly. I really do. I spend a lot of time alone. I spend time around people, but I don't like being around. I'm not a person who likes to be in large groups of people, and I just like to be alone. That's how it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let society try to convince you that there's something wrong with you if you're more of a reclusive, antisocial introvert. I have something called INTP personality, it stands for, I forget, it's INTP. It's a Carl Jung personality test. That's what I tested for, is INTP, which is, forget what the acronym stands for, but INTP is my personality type, which is an introvert type. And and like I said, there's people who are extroverts. They love to be around people all the time. They're very outgoing. They like all the attention. They like to be the center of attention. They talk a lot. That's how some people are. Me, I'm not that way at all. I'm the opposite. I talk to myself a lot. I talk to videos and make videos, but I'm not somebody who's out there trying to get attention from people. I don't like that. I don't feel comfortable with that at all. It's not me, not my personality at all. I hate that, actually. But some people like that. But with narcissistic people, they try to exploit you. They want you to be somebody to lift them up. They're looking for somebody because sometimes they have such a low vibration because of all their toxicity that they're in denial about, that they look for people to cling on to who they feel can kind of elevate their mood. They want somebody to regulate their emotions, to make them feel more stable. And they look for somebody who, like, for their primary source of supply, they usually they'll target people who they know are loyal. Okay, people who don't lie to them, who are very honest and straightforward, and who don't cheat. Those are the people they like, because they feel that person is reliable, because their life is such chaos, so much chaos and shit going on with all their drama, that they need some sort of stability. They need to find somebody as one of their sources of supply who represents some sort of stability, like that's deep down what they crave. But at the same time, they get really bored with that, because they are always getting bored. They're always looking for something that's going to excite them. That's why they have multiple people, multiple supply. They have, and this is a fact. You can argue with me about this all you want, but I can guarantee you that these narcissistic men and women, they cannot and will not commit to one person. They can't do it. They will not, and they know that, but they will lie to you. They will straight up lie to your face about this, because that's what they do. They might be loyal. They might act like they're loyal to you. They might act like they care about you and put on a mask of deception and charm, but that's all it is. It's a mask. It's not really who they are. It's not really who they are, because they're one way around you, and they're completely different around other people. Maybe in their work environment, whatever. They are completely Jekyll and Hyde personality. They are, and they lie. And it's like you might find out that person is actually, like I said, closeted gay or bisexual, or they keep so many secrets that are just utterly vile type secrets, and they want, because, and like I've already talked about what I suspect is going on with this man who keeps hoovering me and trying to fuck with my life, because the reason he's doing that is because I know him like other people don't. Like, I figured it out a long time ago about what he's about how his personality is, and so he knows that I know this, and so that's why he thinks that with me he can get away with it, because I know him, and he feels comfortable around me because I know his patterns, his behavior, his manipulative things that he does. I know how he is, and I know he's a liar. And it's almost like, okay, and I never, whenever I'm around him personally, I get mad sometimes, and I'll argue and say things, but I've never been violent. I've never, done anything. It's just really weird how it's hard to explain. But they never admit or apologize for anything they've done. Even though you know what they've done and you'll call them out for it, they still deny it. This man got somebody, and I'm quite sure he keeps hoovering me to try to because he doesn't want to let go of me for whatever reason, because I guess I regulate his emotions somehow. But he, they'll go away and disappear for a while. You'll change your number and go no contact. And then they'll come back all of a sudden a couple weeks later or leave a note, whatever. Like I read that note that he left the other day and like, oh, I've been so busy at work and I finally got a day off and all this bullshit, lie. That's not true. Yeah, probably they work, they have a job and whatnot, but they have days off and they do things on their days off with the other people they're involved with. And that's a fact. And they go out to their dance clubs and doing their drinking and God knows what else, but they lie because they want you to think that they're little Mr. Perfect who just goes to work and goes home to mommy and daddy, living at home with his parents, and that's all he does is goes to work. And then that's not true. Come on, I'm not that stupid. But let them go ahead and just entertain. Let them, you have to almost just say yeah, and agree with them because, you just agree with everything they say and play dumb. Play dumb because they're lying to you. Then just play dumb back to them. Because really, you already know what's going on, or I already know what's going on. I already figured it out. I see how manipulative this person is and how he's all about control and power and authority and demanding of my time and energy and obsessed with things about my, physical body and things like that. When it's all superficial and physical like that, that means that they only want one thing, which is what do you think? Whenever they have an obsession with somebody's body or something, or or you do something for them, then it's clearly a transactional type thing. But I'm not getting anything out of it. He's not paying my fucking mortgage, or he's not paying my bills. He's not buying me groceries or anything, or giving me money or gifts. So it's like I'm not getting anything out of this, and it's like. What the fuck? Why am I doing? Why do I keep on forgiving or letting this man do this to me? Why do I let him into my house? He'll come over and knock on the door and beg his way into my house, and then I'll end up letting him inside my house again. And then it's like starting all over again, knowing good and well that here we go again, because this is so. It's also my fault because I keep on, and I'm like. It doesn't go. It's like you could tell this person that you called the police. You did a police report. They're not. They don't care. They don't. That goes through one ear and out the other. You can do if you feel like they're threatening you and using coercive abuse and manipulative stuff to try to force you into some kind of servitude. And if they're violent, then for all means call the fucking 911. If you feel that like they're really like they're gonna hurt you physically, like violently hurt you physically. Like, do something really bad, then yeah, call fucking 911 and get the police over to your house immediately. I haven't had to do that, but I've been so angry watching him pull up and then blocking my car, or they're knocking on my window or door, that I'm like, I'm going to fucking call 911. I don't know what else to do because this man does not take me seriously. He doesn't realize that my life is not a game. I'm not a gamble. But I'm too forgiving, I'm too trusting, and I'm too nice to people who end up stepping all over me and seeing me as just an easy target. That's my problem. And I already know it's my problem, but it's also that they know what they're doing, okay? They know exactly what they're doing as well. But this man, I know that he got, I'm quite sure that he's coming acting like wanting to do favors, like mow my lawn and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck, he's very arrogant and conceited, okay, very, very arrogant and very conceited, very entitled, narcissistic, and he thinks that like, that it's okay, that he thinks that I'm just supposed to accept that the fact that he got his coworker, I'm almost positive, now I could be, I'm almost 100% sure that he got this coworker girl pregnant, this Victoria, at that Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm pretty sure because I've seen all the signs. All the signs are there. That girl started fucking stalking me at the post office, stalking me at the grocery store, and I'm quite sure it was her, the way she was looking at me and acting like she knew me, some blonde girl, and the way he saw her at the grocery store that time, and they were looking at each other like it was a setup. So I'm like, is that Victoria? Because she looks like she might be pregnant or something. And she apparently quit that job or whatever because they wouldn't give her enough time off. And I'm like, oh, why'd she quit the job? Because she got pregnant. Because he's having an affair with her. And also I know that he was because I have other people who inform on this. I know people who've helped me get the answers, albeit kind of subtle. They'll give me clues about what answers that I'm seeking. And I already know that this guy, I know he got a girl pregnant at his job, and I'm pretty sure it's his girl named Victoria, who's younger than him, who supposedly is married with kids. I'm almost 100% sure, I'm willing to bet money that that's what's going on, because all the signs are there, 100%. And he's got something going on with that girl, 100%. Whatever's going on with those two, the girl's pregnant, and it's his kid. And so he's trying to, he knows that I know this, and so he's trying to he's just so in denial about it, but it's like, I'm quite sure that's what it is. It's obvious. Because now at the grocery store at H-E-B that I go to, on McCreeless, usually I go to different ones, but I go to that one. So today, they'll put stuff on the clearance aisle. And so today I just went there. Today's Sunday. I came back from the store, and there was this guy, and I went over to that area where there was a clearance. And I've talked about this in my videos before, about how they put stuff in that clearance aisle to try to fuck with me, because they know that I go there all the time, and I can see that they put things there intentionally that I can see this is a target, what they do to target people. And so there's this guy, they have all this fucking baby diapers and shit like that, like crap for prenatal women, for women who are pregnant. And by the way, I can't get pregnant. I'm basically over the age. I can't get pregnant. I can't. I don't even have that's nobody's, I'm too old to get pregnant, so I'm sure as a fuck not pregnant. I'll tell you that right now. There's no way, because I haven't even had intercourse in 3-something years. So I know that I'm not pregnant, thank God, and I wouldn't fucking want to be pregnant. I don't want a fucking kid. But anyway, so they have all this shit at that aisle of that clearance stuff for women who are pregnant, diapers and crap like that, baby formula and shit. And it's like, okay. And then there's this guy today, this Hispanic guy, kind of tall, thin looking, young Hispanic guy with 2 Victoria's Secret shopping bags, hovering around that area looking at stuff for the pregnant women. Yes, today at H-E-B this afternoon around, I guess I was close to 3:45 or something when that happened. I don't know, 3, 4, or maybe 4 o'clock. Whatever. This was a little less than an hour ago at H-E-B on McCreeless here in San Antonio. I was in that aisle in the back by the paper towels and the cleaning stuff and whatnot, the dog food, the cat food. They have an area in the back of the store where it's like a clearance section of things that are on clearance. So like I said, they have a bunch of stuff. They had a bunch of cupcakes for 4th of July. They have all kinds of different stuff. Sometimes it's very sparse, and other times there's a lot of things. But lately in the past month or two, I've noticed all this shit for pregnant women who are like like I said, a bunch of shit for women who are pregnant. Vitamins and crap for pregnant women, okay? I say more? You get the idea. So there's this guy hovering around there, all like, it looked like he was a total fucking actor, gang stalker, whatever, street theater. And I was about to get my phone out and start recording this. It was so fucking ridiculous. But he was walking around that, waiting for me. They knew I was at the store, right? He was just waiting for me, posing on his phone, his cell phone, carrying 2 Victoria's Secret shopping bags. And like I said, he looked like he was Hispanic male, probably in his 30s, 20s or 30s, somewhat taller statured man, short hair. He may have been bisexual or gay. I don't know. He looked like he may have been. But nonetheless, carrying 2 Victoria's Secret shopping bags. And lo and behold, I was just having a conversation again about this Victoria character who he's had his affair lady, his girlfriend, his whatever supply, who he's of many supplies that he has. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so could it be any more obvious? All the signs are there. And plus, other people have informed me about this because, like I said, I'm willing to bet money that that's what's going on, that he This Mr. Louis Valdez, it works at Saks Fifth Avenue in the shoe department, supposedly, in various departments, got a girl named Victoria. I don't know her fucking last name, but he was obsessed with this girl. I know that. He had a big thing for her because he pretty much let me know and rubbing it in my face about her that he liked her, and they're, they had already exchanged phone numbers and all that shit. So they had an affair going on. They were fornicating and fucking and doing shit, trying to keep it a secret from lying to me about it the whole fucking time. Yet I'm somebody else who he's intimate with, so he's got so many women, but he happened to get that girl pregnant. I wonder if they're going to get married now. I hope that y'all get married, and I hope that y'all have a happy ever ending with your child, with the baby on the way. I don't know if it's a girl or boy, but I hope that it works out. I hope that y'all have a happy marriage and that the kid is not, whatever, that it doesn't end up being a kid out of adultery or, well, I guess since she's married, it's going to be born from adultery because she's married, supposedly. So it looks like he got a girl pregnant out of adultery. Uh-oh, here we go. Curse of the bastard, right? Like father, like son. Isn't that what his father did to, apparently he's born from illegit, adultery or out of wedlock. So let the pattern continue, like father, like son. What can you say? So yeah, that's what's going on. I don't really give a shit because I don't take them seriously anyway. I don't care. I'm just documenting this because they're trying to fuck with my head emotionally, psychologically, to see how they can put me to the test and how I'm going to react. And my reaction is, quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. Good luck with the marriage or the kid. Have fun. I hope that the divorce goes smoothly with her and her significant other or whatever the fuck is going on. But good luck with all that shit. And thank God I don't have to be involved with it.